Hello, and welcome to Flip the Coin Onto Its Edge. I am your host, Michael Papaw Newton. I've studied philosophy, classic and ancient mythology, spirituality, science, religions like Christianity, Judaism, Wicca, Kabbalah, Buddhism, and Taoism for over 20 years. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, leave all preconceived notions, opinions, and beliefs at the door. Open up. This episode is number 3, and the title of today's episode is Rule 2, The Realm Beyond the Five Senses. This episode is about what is out there to help us find a reality besides our five senses. Just a reminder, tap the button to follow this podcast. Now, into our show. Did you ever hum a piece of music in your mind, then turn on the radio and there it was? Did you ever think about a friend who you haven't seen for years and suddenly you bump into them in a restaurant? Have you or anyone you know ever had a mystical insight, a flash of intuition, or a dream where you glimpsed beyond the five senses? A dream mysteriously comes true. The phone rings, and for some reason, before looking at it, you know who it is. A mother wakes up in the middle of the night, sweating, her heart pounding. Meanwhile, in another city, her daughter narrowly missed getting into a fatal car crash a moment before. Mozart said he was able to seize his entire symphonies at a glance in his mind before he actually wrote it down in real time. Somehow, Mozart heard an hour of music in a split second. It's not logical. What he heard in his mind transcended the laws of time, space, and motion. Roger Penrose, one of the great physicists in the world today, wrote that Mozart made contact with another realm where the symphony already existed as one complete whole. Penrose went on to write that discovery is a form of remembering. But from where? Where do our ideas come from? Just as Edison's light bulb and electricity already existed before he discovered it, Mozart's compositions also already existed before he wrote them down. The question is, where? Where does this information come from? Where is this other field or domain of activity? How come we cannot connect to it on a constant basis? Sometimes we glimpse it, sometimes we don't. This is not about psychic phenomena. Most of us think this realm is far away, but it's not. It's right here. In 1981, the famous Cambridge biologist Rupert Sheldrake published a theory about the existence of what he termed the morphogenetic fields. The principle of morphic resonance, for instance, is used to explain phenomena such as a phantom limb, how dogs seem to know when their owners are returning, and the sense of being stared at. The Japanese monkey Macaca fuscata has been observed in the wild for a period of over 30 years. In 1952, on the island of Koshima, scientists were providing the monkeys with sweet potatoes dropped in the sand. The monkeys liked the taste of the raw sweet potatoes, but found the dirt unpleasant. An 18-month-old female named Emo found she could solve the problem by washing the potatoes in a nearby stream. She taught this trick to her mother. Her playmate also learned this new way, and they taught their mothers too. This cultural innovation was gradually picked up by various monkeys before the eyes of the scientists. Between 1952 and 1958, all the young monkeys learned to wash the sandy sweet potatoes to make them more palatable. Only the adults imitated their children learned this social improvement. Other adults kept eating the dirty sweet potatoes. Then something startling took place. In the autumn of 1958, a certain number of Koshima monkeys were washing their sweet potatoes. The exact number is not known, but then it happened. By the evening of that night, every monkey in the tribe was washing sweet potatoes before eating them. And then a most surprising thing was observed by these scientists, and it was that the habit of washing sweet potatoes then jumped over the sea. Colonies of monkeys on other islands and the mainland group of monkeys at Takaisikiyama began washing their sweet potatoes. The phenomenon means that when only a limited number of people know a new way, it may remain the consciousness property of those people. But there is a point at which a new awareness, a field is strengthened so that awareness is picked up by almost everyone. According to Sheldrake, there is a field of energy. Pure energy is how I like to look at it, beyond our five senses, that interconnects individual species and the morphogenetic field. Consciousness is considered a complex process that emerges from a highly organized system, not an intrinsic property of energy itself. However, it's the dynamic organization of energy processing in the morphogenetic field that seems to matter. The panpsychism theory suggests that consciousness is a fundamental property of the universe, and all matter or energy has some degree of consciousness. This theory is delivered by thinkers like David Chalmers and Philip Goff. They are the leading proponents arguing that consciousness is a fundamental property of the universe. Scientists such as Christoph Koch have also explored panpsychism ideas to provide a framework for understanding consciousness that bridges the gap between the physical world and the subjective experience. 2,000 years ago, the Zohar, which is the holy book for Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, revealed a strikingly similar concept. All human beings, it says, are interconnected by these energy fields. We are going to learn in future podcasts how our individual behavior affects this energy field, how it affects our own lives, our own reality on a very practical level. Did you ever stop to wonder how come in the last 100 years there has been more scientific and technological advancements revealed to us than all the other centuries combined? You've got Einstein's formula, E equals mc squared, satellites, computers, quantum physics, smartphones, artificial intelligence, lasers, man landing on the moon, the internet, medical technology like genetic editing, which allows scientists to precisely edit or cut and paste DNA sequences. How come so much knowledge is being uncovered in this 1 century? So many discoveries at once in biology, physics, medicine, spirituality, and technology. Where is all this information coming from? Throughout history, humankind has glimpsed and made contact with this other energy domain. So there is a realm. Now what? What do we need to know about this other field? How does it affect our lives on a very practical basis? Today, tomorrow. That's all we have time for. Thanks for tuning into this week's episode. Today, we covered the morphogenetic field. Next time, we'll talk about how and what we can do with the knowledge of the 1% and 99% realm. I advise you, don't believe anything you hear in this podcast. Test it out in your life. It has to work for you. Believing means there is already an element of doubt. The secret to success is to know the laws of life, not to believe in them. When you test these laws and principles, you will come to know. For your own benefit, make room for compelling new ideas. This will allow you to understand and evaluate the teachings more effectively. Quick reminder, click the button to follow this podcast. Remember, God woke you up this morning for a reason. Now go out and find out why.